Let's dive into this newscast with all the latest coming in on Israel and Saudi Arabia as the supposed meeting between Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been denied by Saudi Arabia. The Israeli sources earlier had stressed on this meeting as one of the major breakthroughs between both the countries. Now, what is very significant is that Saudi Arabia has chosen to deny this meeting, which was actually confirmed to international news agencies by Israeli cabinet minister. This is the latest that we are bringing to you, that the Israeli cabinet minister had confirmed Netanyahu's Saudi meeting, which has been now denied by Saudi Arabia's foreign minister in a latest tweet that he sent out. For more details and a perspective, let's quickly go across to international human rights attorney Arsen Ostrovsky, who's joining us live from Tel Aviv at this hour. A very warm welcome to you, Arsen. Now, the Saudi foreign minister has denied that the meeting happened, whereas an Israeli cabinet minister has confirmed Netanyahu's Saudi meeting. What do you make of these two contradictory versions?
Look, there could be any number of reasons. Obviously, this development is, it's earth-shattering. It's something that's also very sensitive. Israel and Saudi Arabia have not had diplomatic relations. So if Prime Minister Netanyahu and the head of the Mossad, who reportedly flew to Saudi Arabia, did in fact happen, and they had the meeting with the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, that is something that is quite literally game-changing. That will change the face of the Middle East. Really, as we know it, for the future, and it would also send a very, very important signal, one, to Iran and also to the incoming Biden administration, which is seeking to engage Iran on the JCPOA deal.
All right, Arsen, what has been the bone of contention for Saudi Arabia when it comes to the issue of Israel, even though we've witnessed a softening of the stance when it comes to Israel on the part of Saudi Arabia, because they've also allowed Saudi Arabia has allowed Israel to use their airspace lately. Mm-hmm. But what has been the bone of contention?
Look, there's many issues. Obviously, one of the main ones had been the Palestinian question, which had remained and continues to be remained unresolved. And for the Saudi Arabians, that was obviously a major imperative to relations warming between or accepting even Israel. But obviously, we've seen a huge geostrategic change over the last months with Israel's relations with the UAE and Bahrain and now Sudan as well. With the signing the Abraham Accords, and that's something that would not have happened without Saudi Arabia's involvement, however tacit it may have been, and as you indicated, also with the agreement to fly over Saudi airspace. Iran has obviously been a major.
We seem to be losing Arsen's audio over there as we try to get Arsen's audio back. This is the big major development coming in on the Middle East peace process, because remember, Saudi Arabia has been at the center of the Middle East peace plan when it comes to Donald Trump's administration. And of course, he's brought Israel to the forefront when it comes to striking peace with a bunch of Middle Eastern nations, Bahrain being one. And of course, lately we've been witnessing Mike Pompeo's sincere efforts when it comes to having Israel and Saudi Arabia starting a fresh leaf when it comes to their relationship. The US push, of course, has been imminent during Trump's administration. Yes, Arsen, good to have you back. Please go ahead and finish your point.
Look, obviously, there's a lot of
all right, there seems to be some signal issue. We'll try and get in more details on this news story in just a bit. For now, this is the big development coming in, that the Saudi foreign minister has denied that the meeting happened between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown prince. But interestingly, it is this very meeting that has been confirmed by the Israeli cabinet minister. What is the reason behind this contradictory version? We'll have to wait and watch for more news details to emerge. And with that, let's now shift our attention over to the vaccine. The United States is expecting to begin a COVID vaccine drive in early December. The head of the U.S. government's coronavirus vaccine program, Moncef Slaoui, said that authorities are aiming to ship the doses to the immunization site within 24 hours of approval by the country's Food and Drug Administration. Now, FDA's vaccine advisors are likely to meet on December 10th to discuss approving vaccines, which pharmaceutical firms Pfizer and Moderna say are at least 95% effective. Officials estimate that a record 20 million people across the U.S. could be vaccinated in December. However, they are aiming to vaccinate 30 million people per month. Officials added that with potentially 70% of the population having been vaccinated, the U.S. could attain herd immunity by May 2021. This means that the virus can no longer spread widely. Meanwhile, top U.S. infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci has said that vaccine is not enough to control the situation, as the pandemic may worsen before immunization programs begin. He urged Americans to follow COVID restrictions. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration will review Pfizer's emergency use application for its vaccine. The Centers for Disease Control will then recommend the group of people who will receive the vaccine first. And so frontline workers and those who are in the high-risk category, like the elderly, are likely to be administered the doses first. COVID cases continue to rise in the U.S., which is the world's worst hit country by the pandemic. The U.S. reported over 1 million new cases last week.